Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, a personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From fitness and nutrition to business and positive mindset work, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I'll be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface, because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. So I have a really fun addition to utilize as a source that I would love for you guys to do at the start of your day, every single day, to just keep you on track, help you with your goals, really get you into a positive mindset every single morning, because what we do in the morning is how we are going to shape our entire day. I have this fancy little sheet that I'm calling Day by Design, and it's an editable PDF that you're going to be able to fill out even as your day goes on if you need to. Some of it is meant to be for you to do as your day goes on. And some of the things that are in there are going to be the mood that you're feeling for the day, tracking your exercise, your water intake, and your meals. You're going to write what you're grateful for, your schedule, your goals, your get to-do list, because I don't like to say to-do list or have to do, a money tracker, and just keeping everything in one place for what you need to do today, tomorrow, and for all the days, so that you can make sure that you stay on track and have the best day that you can. So in order for you guys to get this, I'm going to have you go to my website, which is www.deannamerlinofit.com. And you're going to get asked to sign up for a newsletter that you will then get this in exchange for free. So super easy. You don't have to do anything but sign up. And after that, you'll get a quick little welcome letter. And then once a month, I will send out a newsletter that is going to keep you guys up to date with me, so you can just get to see the ins and outs of what's going on in the life of Deanna Merlino and the Empowered Podcast. Can't wait for you guys to utilize this, and just can't wait to see you guys sharing it on social media as well, hitting your goals, helping others do it as well. Please take advantage of this. It will definitely be fun for everyone involved. Hello, my empowered family. I'm so excited to be back with you guys. So I know for you guys, no time has lapsed. This will just be another Monday. But for me, I actually was so far ahead in recording that I took I want to say like a week and a half, 2 weeks off, and kind of just relaxed and got past everything with the holiday and just got myself sorted out with the new year. So it felt good, and I am re-energized and ready to rock and roll. So last week we were talking about, I did like a 2-part segment on the 12 pillars, that book. So if you haven't listened to that, definitely go ahead. There's some really amazing success tips in there that I get super thorough about. But this week, we're going to be talking about something kind of fun. 2 things actually, and we'll be talking about affirmations and sticky notes. And you might be thinking those are completely random topics to put together, but I promise that they actually aren't. So we are all done with that 8-week challenge that I had going on too, which again, be so proud of yourself. It feels so good to have committed to something and stuck to it and saw it out to the end. But if you're someone who, if you didn't do the challenge, or you just, want that extra, that push and having that structure and that guidance, you can still subscribe to my app, that DM Fit Exercise app, or continue your subscription if you're already subscribed. So that way you can continue working out regardless of that challenge being over. So I'm excited to continue on with you guys in that way. But back to today's episode, the affirmations and sticky notes. We'll start with the affirmations. And I kind of have dropped a little bit about affirmations here and there in the past episodes, but I want to dig into them a little deeper. So affirmations are when you say something to yourself like, I am successful. I am a great mother. I am abundant. I am prosperous. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to be, let's put it that way. Whatever you want to be, you want to be saying to yourself over and over and over again. So unfortunately, we are kind of just wired and programmed to be naturally negative because of the way the world looks around us. From the TV shows that we're watching, to the music that we're listening to especially the news. I don't want to say that there's subliminal messaging, but there's subliminal messaging. Like, I personally don't watch the news very frequently at all. And I'm not saying that I have my head in the sand or I'm unaware of what's going on in the world, because I am not oblivious by any means. However, that negativity is just like pushed on you, and it feeds a fear in you that's going to keep you almost running in this hamster wheel. I feel like personally it's intended that way, to keep us running on that hamster wheel. So we have to work really hard to not be negative. But let me just tell you that it gets easier and easier as you become more positive. It's that rewiring that I have talked about. So we are so used to things being, woe is me, when it rains, it pours, the world's a mess, why even bother, I hate my job, whatever it is, that we just think that way all the time. We think that there's always going to be something bad that's going to happen. I encourage you to take control right now by starting to do affirmations. And it will feel awkward at first. It will feel silly. It'll feel unnatural, but not for long. I do want to say that our brains are very smart. They're not stupid. So if you're over here saying, I am a millionaire, which you should be saying if that is your goal, or I am rich or I'm prosperous, whatever, initially there's going to be a red flag going off in your brain where it's like, honey, no, you're not. But if you continue to say it, it'll get more natural, and then your brain's going to start believing it, because that's how our brains work. Whatever you say is what it believes. The most successful people in the world use affirmations daily and all day long. All day long. So I actually have 3 sticky notes right next to me that are ones that I have been focusing on lately that I will just share with you just so you get an idea. And I actually have them written on sticky notes. So I incorporated the 2 things that we're talking about today into one. So I know I've talked about my human design chart. And if you guys are not familiar with that, I know I told you could like Google it. Another really great place that is free to use is Jenna Zoe. If she has a human design thing that I've used, I think it's super easy. Really, all you need to know is like your birth date, where you were born, and you do need to know the exact time. So you'll want to get that ahead of time. It's like an in-depth astrology, essentially. So I am a projector, and because I've told you guys before, I love to learn. Of course, I instantly looked up a podcast for projectors, because why not? And in listening to that, it breaks down like certain, like what you want to say and what you want to think for what you are programmed for naturally as a projector. So I wrote it out. And every time before I make a social media post, before I get on my podcast, before I do anything, like if I'm creating my workout plans for the week, before I upload them, I say this to myself: I am a projector. I am heard. I am recognized. I have superpowers. I am going to tell people what they need to hear. Because these are the key things that I struggle with internally, naturally. Like, it is honestly crazy how spot on this human design chart is for me. But those are the things that I need, because I naturally easily feel like I question myself. So that is like a building up a self-confidence type thing. Another one, which you guys have definitely heard me say before, is I am comfortable getting uncomfortable. And next is I use my nerves to fuel my creativity, to empower others. So just things that I struggle with, like I get nervous before I do things. I told you guys that I, used to hate talking in front of people, and now I don't, but I still get that anxious energy. So I use that anxious energy to turn it into something positive. So whatever you guys need, you can use those affirmations for, and they're so, so helpful. So whatever affirmations that you need to help yourself, I recommend doing them first thing in the morning after you have thought of your gratitude for the day. And I like to put sticky notes wherever I'm going to see them, whether that's in the bathroom, whether that's in my office, whether that's on my makeup vanity, whatever it is, put them everywhere, write your affirmations. And after you have done that enough, and it starts to become more natural, you won't need to write them out anymore because you're just so used to saying them that you'll just know how to re-say them. But it's, again, creating those habits. So moving on a little bit from affirmations to sticky notes is I use my sticky notes whenever I am trying to hit a goal, or if I have something very specific for the month that I'm trying to do. So for example, there was a month that I remember very clearly in my business where I was trying to do 40,000 in sales, and I had sticky notes everywhere. Like my husband probably wanted to light them on fire, and I don't care. It's fine. Like my walls were covered in them, on the doors. And I'm also very specific in how I place them, how I shape them, which I'll talk about in a second. But what I was doing was writing the number 40,000 everywhere. So that is all I would see. It is all I would think about, because when you see it over and over and over again, your brain's going to find a way to make it happen. Like when you have that reminder, it's like, oh, I need to do this. All right, how am I going to do it? And you'll start doing things that you didn't even think of. Like you'll have ideas pop in like, oh, I could do this to try and hit that goal. Or I can try this to, do whatever you need to do, because your brain will always be turning and always thinking about what it is you need to do. So that month when I was going for 40,000, I ended up doing 30,000. And if I remember correctly, I really wasn't disappointed. But I really want to just hit on that key point for a moment. Sometimes you're going to set a big, scary, hairy goal and you might not hit it. And that is okay. Prior to that month, my highest and my usual sales were about 10,000. And I did 30,000, guys. I almost tripled what I usually did, all because I was very focused and very intentional. Could I have seen that as a failure or that I didn't achieve my goal? Well, no, I didn't technically, but take a minute to think about how much further you actually got. Look at how much you actually did and be proud of that. Like celebrate that, because that's the real point of a goal. It might take longer. It might be, not the time, or you might have to do it over and over and over again. But you're still going to be growing and striving and getting so much further than you planned on when you're focused and intentional. So that is just an example of how I once used my sticky notes to get super further ahead than I was in my personal goal. So what I like to do to make sticky notes fun is say, we'll use 10,000, or let's use 100,000. I like that number. So if I was trying to do 100,000 in sales, what I would like to do is make 10 sticky notes and write 10,000 on each of those sticky notes. So if you were trying to do 50,000 or 10,000 or 100, whatever it is, I break them up. So that way, every time I hit one of those micro goals, I get to take down the sticky. Now that might sound like such a simple thing, but it's actually so exciting. It feels so good. And you get to have a little mini celebration every time you do it. And then that's going to motivate you to keep going, because you want to keep pulling down all the sticky notes. And those times when you get to pull down all of your sticky notes, guys, it seriously feels amazing. And also, I'm even that person that will, like I said, I will shape them as well. Like if I want to make a smiley face, or if there's a title that I'm going after, I will shape the stickies in that title, whatever it is. Get as creative or not creative as you want. But my point is these are tools that you can use separately and together. And they're really great for achieving things in the short term. But once you integrate them into being long term, that's when you're going to have those habits that are creating success. They'll just happen naturally. And that's when your successes will start coming faster and quicker and easier, because you're shaping yourself, you're shaping your brain into being that positive person, that whoever you are, whoever you're saying you are, you'll become them. That's the goal of it all. Is if you want to be a millionaire, we're just going to stick with that because I brought it up. You need to do the things that a millionaire would do. And you need to show up like them. And every day that you show up like them gets you one step closer to being them. Continue to act like that person. Say, I am a millionaire as many times as you need to until it stops feeling weird, until it stops feeling uncomfortable, until you stop having that imposter syndrome, until before you know it, you're doing things where you're like, wow, old me never would have done that. You feel more successful. You feel more ready to take on the day. You feel more inspired, more creative. More things are coming at you that are helping you and to launch you to the next thing that you need to become a millionaire. And before you know it, you'll be a millionaire or whatever it is that your goal is. These are two simple and fun ways that you can reprogram your brain and hit your goals and have some fun with it. So I would love to see what goals you guys have. Let me see your stickies. Let me see your I am love letters to yourself, because that's what they are. And you deserve that self-love. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And next week, I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about my favorite topic, the law of attraction. So I will see you next week, same time, next Monday. Have a great day. Have a great week. Love you all. Take care. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be. Because the world is waiting for your gifts, and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.